Just a couple quick facts.
All right, fire them off. I'm ready.
Make a person. make a friend. Sorry, guys, that happens a lot.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
hi. How is everyone?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IDK podcast.
We are officially live.
We are live.
We've launched. We have released 3 episodes by now, and I hope you have listened.
I hope. If not, stop this episode, go back, listen,
catch up a little bit,
come back,
get to know what's going on.
Before we get started, I think it's time for a cheers.
Cheers.
Everyone, grab your glasses. Nice little. There you go. Take a sip. Jeff, it feels so good to be back.
I know.
Recording and I'm just so happy.
I do have to admit, 3 episodes was a little much to handle at once.
It was okay. A lot. I mean, we did it for you guys. We were very excited,
and we did get it done successfully. Yeah,
successfully. Jeff and I are still both alive. We didn't murder each other, which is fantastic.
Surprising to say them.
But we didn't. It was really Jeff's idea. We didn't want to release just one episode. We wanted to kind of give you a real big insight to what this podcast is going to be about. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Jeff over here for coming up with that idea. But
thanks, Kay.
I had so much fun recording.
Yeah. I think that this is both of us, though. Like, it's a 50-50 effort, and we make a one whole.
Yep.
And we make a one whole podcast and a team, and it feels great to be here. I'm so excited. This is so fun.
I'm going to say this now because this is something I've been itching to say since we launched. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed to Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, any of those. Thank you, and thank you so much for listening. We're really excited to kind of keep pushing out content. And
it's really interesting that... Yeah. It's just kind of interesting that you guys are listening. And it feels kind of weird that we just put this thing out there.
Yep.
And we looked at our demographics today, and how many states was it, Kay? About like 25, 30?
Yeah, it was a
30
handful of states. There was someone from Washington State. So if you are that person, tweet at us because we want to know. We don't know anyone from Washington State.
We had someone from the UK.
Yep, UK, Canada.
We had men in Mexico.
Philippines, yep. England, you said UK.
So we're kind of national right now, guys.
Yeah, guys, we're
international.
IDK just went international, so.
In case you didn't notice.
And then really quick, follow us on all of our social. We love to be super interactive with all of you guys. We're always asking questions about what do you want to know and things like that. So make us sure to follow on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, all at IDK with JK. And then follow myself on Twitter and Instagram, KAY__Prince. And
I'm JEFFF, 2 underscores and a P.
On Twitter and Instagram, correct?
Yes, they're both the same.
Perfect. But yeah, make sure to go connect us on social media and stuff like that. And really quick, before we kind of dive deep into it, I know I got a little political on the first 3 episodes. Yeah. But that was just because it's super important. So that's not going to be something that we're doing now. Just be educated. Go to vote.org if you have any questions.
Please vote, guys.
And please vote. But that's just our civil duty. But
let's talk about what we did this week.
What did we do? Well, besides launching.
Yeah.
I think you have a big update.
I know what I did this week. I went to see an orthopedic hand surgeon.
Uh-oh. How'd that go?
It went good. City MD told me that I had an avulsion fracture, and
I think we told them that, right?
My finger was broken. Yeah. And my finger was broken. Then I went to go see a hand surgeon because they thought I should get a second look. So I went. It was fine. It was quick, very in and out. It turns out my finger is not broken. As bad as they thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
It did not need to be in the straight splint that they put it in. He literally took 2 seconds and steps into the room and rips a splint off.
So he knew off the top of his head.
Yeah, and he looked at the x-rays. He was like, I don't know why you have this splint. I don't know why they gave it to you. Like, he was like, we shouldn't keep fingers straight. There should be like natural curve of the hand. And I'm like, I totally feel that, dude. I'm down with that idea.
Jeff's sitting there like, yep, absolutely.
I'm like down with that idea. So I just have to kind of tape it up with my middle finger a little bit in 2 weeks and go back and see what's happening.
So no surgery.
No surgery.
No cast. Nothing.
It's supposed to just like kind of heal back together and get its motion back.
Okay.
The pain is less, but it still hurts a little bit.
Well, that's great news because I thought I was gonna have to deal with you while you got surgery and.
Oh my God! You be my nurse.
Yeah, be your full-time nurse. I don't have to take a leave of absence from work.
That would have been a great bonding experience, I would say.
You can just lay in bed while we film the podcast. Mm-hmm. Just hold the mic in one phone, one hand, and we'll record. What did I do? What is any updates? I don't think there's really any major updates. Alabama won again. Roll Tide. It was
Roll Tide, guys. Roll Tide.
It was a very stressful game. If you're a UGA fan, I apologize. You guys did great. If you hate Alabama, I also apologize.
Because that is a personal flaw.
Yeah, no. So that's pretty much it. It wasn't anything too crazy. We've pumped out a lot of content. I'm excited to have you guys see what we have in store for you. We have a lot of stuff lined up, some fun things, some fun guests lined up coming soon.
We have a lot of good topics to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of ideas.
And please, again, send us your questions. If there's a topic that you want us to dive into.
DM us.
Yeah, DM us.
DMs are open on all socials, guys.
And just tweet at us. Just tweet at us, and, we're always asking polls and questions and whatnot. So, just interact with us. We'll interact back.
We always respond.
Always. But with that being said, let's do one more cheers, and I think we just dive right into the topic.
Absolutely.
So everyone cheers with us.
Cheers, Earthlings.
Cheers. Should that be our new intro?
Mm-hmm. I like calling people Earthlings.
Not like welcome. Just greetings, Earthlings. Cheers. Just
and
a
then start talking.
And just get right into it.
So this week I was kind of talking with Kay, and I was like, what if we talked about the moving out experience and going to college and becoming your own adult in an individual. It's such a fun time.
Such a fun time. Such a
difficult time.
Such a trying time. But
you are not alone.
Experience. Like, you're not alone. So we're here to we have two different perspectives. So really quick. So I graduated college in 2019 in May. And then I pretty much packed up and drove cross country to Colorado. So I stayed there for a year. And then during the pandemic, I kind of did the same thing, kind of backwards. I packed my car up, and then I moved to New York. So I've experienced two cities so far, and within about a year and a half of each other. So I understand the struggles of making friends and physically moving and all the little things that you have to learn and navigate. And that's what I'm bringing to this episode, at least, is really to help you guys and kind of help you find that balance from work and personal, because you just graduated college. You're not going to be, it's not the college schedule anymore, right? You're on a full work schedule. So it's kind of different.
I am a little bit different than that. I left home when I was 18 and moved to New York City by myself because my parents were scheduled to come down with me, but there was a huge snowstorm. And I had to be in my apartment by then, and school was starting, so I'm like, I need to go. So it was a big snowstorm, and I ended up taking the train down with 2 suitcases and having the rest of my shit mailed to me.
Pretty much what I did.
Yeah. Then I came here by myself. I started out at a university.
What university did you go to?
Hunter College.
Where's that?
It's on 68th Street in Lexington on the east side.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And then I transferred to Fashion Institute. I ended up been here by myself kind of this whole time.
So how many years has that been? So 3?
January will be 2.
Oh.
This January will be 2 years. I've lived in 3 apartments, and then I've hopped around like a psychopath.
But you moved here when you were 18?
Yeah.
Well, how would that be 2 years?
Wait. January's going to be 3 years.
I was going to say, Jeff, it was 18, you're 21 now.
January's going to be 3 years.
Wow. Can you believe that? Are you still liking the city as much as you did?
I am falling in love with it even more. Like, when I first came here, it was very
Guys, Jeff is gonna die in the city. Like, he's not gonna live anywhere else.
All my friends are like, yeah, I'll retire here, whatever. And I'm like, no, you're going to catch me here until I'm in the grave.
What really attracted you to move to New York City?
Being free.
Okay.
Lily was here before me. She told me all about it, and I was very interested in it, and I kind of always thought about moving to New York.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, there's the thought of being free and being my own person and getting to experience things on my own and still being somewhat close to my family.
Yeah, that's very
It
nice.
was just like a good situation for me to go. And I wasn't moving out of state either.
Yeah, that is true.
So
That is true.
I was getting in-state tuition as well.
In-state
so
tuition.
It was like positive after positive after positive.
And I think not wrapping up your story, but tying into it is, if I have a piece of advice for anyone listening to this, take a sip. If I have a piece of advice for anyone listening to this, move out of your hometown.
Now.
I'm not saying do it in a year or 2 years. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it while rents, a lot of rent places are kind of cheap, and you're not really, if you're working virtually, you're not really tied to one city, but get out there. The world is so big, and you will never get to explore it if you don't leave. So leave. Go out. Go explore.
And also, guys, I know it's kind of scary, but a large portion of it is kind of doing it on your own.
It's absolutely terrifying. But the reward is so much fun.
It's so much fun, especially if it's a big city, and you can make friends quick. It's all about you get what you get.
Well, I feel like in New York City, you probably can make friends quicker than you can personally. Like for me in Denver, it took me 6 to 7 months to really find quote unquote true friends that really weren't even true friends at that point. So, but it's fun because you get to. When you go to college, for example, I left my hometown when I was 18 as well, moved away from Maryland to Alabama, and I was, no one knew me. I didn't know a single person that went to Alabama. I didn't know a single person when I moved there. I literally did it all by myself, but I was really able to say, I want A, B, C, and D in my life. I want this kind of life for myself. I don't want to have to just, stick with those friends from high school just because they were popular, quote unquote, and things like that. So you really get to find who you are, but once you leave from college, it goes 10 times beyond that, because when you get to college, you get to see what you want in your college career, right? Your 4 years, your 2 years, whatever. You get to lay out how you want to spend it. If you want to party the whole time or study, which study and do great. But when you leave college, you have your whole life in front of you. You're only 21, 22, 23 when you leave college. You have 80 more years. And so you get to figure that out for yourself.
And I have always, said, if people are bringing you down and they're not there for your happiness and they're not there for your growth, then leave them. You know what I mean? And a large part of that was me leaving home.
Yep. And that's a good thing, too, is in college you put up with a lot of fake friends. You do. I did it in high school. I still even did it a little bit outside of college. But there's a point where you wake up and you get to realize you get to make these situations for yourself. Yep. You get to, if you're not unhappy with your friends, the only person you can blame is yourself at that point, because you can go out and change that.
You made them.
So... and when you leave college, you get to have a clean break from anybody that you didn't like. If there was that one person that really was bringing you down and wouldn't listen to you or would whatever, cut them out. You're moving away. They're going somewhere else. And trust me, it's a lot easier said than done.
Right.
Trust me. I can't let go. That's one of my biggest flaws. And being able to finally let go feels like there's a million weights being lifted off of you. So
that's how I felt when I left Rochester. It was like metaphorical chains. Like I ripped them off and I was like, I'm free bird.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're on your own and you feel like an adult and you're making your decisions wisely. You have to. And it's just a great feeling to be on your own.
Something else I really want to quickly touch base on is something that I really struggled with after kind of graduating college and moving into this quote-unquote real world is kind of I would loop them into 3 things: car, place to live, and job. Those are the most 3 important things that you need right when you graduate college, right? So for me, I was moving to Denver. So I was like, okay, I'm going to drive my car out there because I clearly need it. The first thing is the car, right? So me moving to a completely new state, I had to do things that I didn't even think about, didn't really even hear about as a kid in college or high school. I had to register my car in a new state. That was fun,
Sounds awful.
which I never even ended up doing because I didn't have the right paperwork ever.
Anything at the DMV sucks.
And then you needed to get new insurance because you have to have in-state insurance, which I don't really completely understand. And then you need to get a license. Well, here's the thing with the license. You have to do it within 60 days of living there, but then you also need pieces of mail that says your new address. So then you have to call any credit card company, any company that you have that have your address, to switch over your address to now get the new address, then to go to the DMV to get the new license, insurance, and register the car. I went to the DMV 4 times to try and get all of that done, and the only thing that I ended up getting done was a new license. So that was hard. It was very hard. Those are the 3 things you're going to have to do if you're bringing your car to the new city. You might have some other things to do, but that's really it, right? And then a place to live. Well, so I was moving to Denver, so I was like, okay, I have a couple options here I can do for a place to live. I can get a studio and just find the cheapest 1 bedroom, 1 bath, cheapest studio I can find, move into it, whatever. I can find some roommates who maybe know the city, which is the path I ended up going down. Or I go out, get an Airbnb for a month, figure out what parts of Denver / Colorado I liked, then find a place. But yet I wasn't there. I was in Alabama trying to figure all of this out. So what I did was I had to pick a route. I kind of had to pick whatever I thought was going to be the lesser of the evils. So I picked the roommate path, which ended up going great. But it's hard because I never met her. The first day I met her was the first day I moved to Denver. So it could have gone down a really bad path, but thankfully it didn't. We ended up being very close friends. Miranda, shout out if you're listening. But those are the kind of big things with the place to live. And then credit. If you are in college and you are not building up credit, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when the bank's open,
go get a credit card.
Oh my gosh. Because here's the thing. This is what I didn't know. Is if you don't have a line of credit when you go find your first place outside of college, guess whose help you need? Moms and dads. And that's the worst feeling when you graduate college thinking you're on your own, but yet still have to go ask them for help because they're going to have to co-sign your apartment or house or whatever. And guess what? They're not going to be that happy about it either because if you don't make rent, they get sued, not you. So go build your line of credit. I thankfully was able to not have to have anyone sign for me for my place in Denver and New York. But that's because I learned on an early age is get your credit. Have a clean credit card when you go apply. Make sure you have disposable income. And those couple key things. And that was the place to live. And then the job. The job's a whole nother tackle itself. And it was hard, it's hard if you're applying to somewhere you don't live, right? So I'm in Alabama applying for jobs in Denver. I would get a call the next day saying, hey, can you come in for an interview? And I'm like, well, so funny thing about that is I'm still in college, and then I would get a hang up. They don't care. They don't want you. If you're not there. And the main reason is they think that you want a relocation package. So if you're saying that you're in a different state, they're going to think that you want more money to come move to that state to work for them. So if you are talking with companies out of state, make sure to tell them, hey, I'm not looking for a relocation package. I'm moving there on my own. And thankfully I found a company that did that because I let them know I'm not really looking for that and stuff like that. So, but enough about me talking. Jeff, what advice do you have for someone that's thinking about moving away, even at a younger age? So let's say not even before college or after college, about right before college. What advice do you have?
So I moved to New York while I was in college, so I'm a little different from Kay.
Yep. But that's what makes it great, is you get two completely different perspectives.
So the car thing for me, I had to sell my car because I was not taking my car to New York because there's a subway and public transportation and you could walk everywhere.
Save some coin. Get some exercise.
So I sold the car. That was awful. If you have to sell the car, you need to have proof of insurance. You need to have the current registration. I'm sure you have. But then you also need to have all of these documents stating where the money's going to go, whose bank account is going in, and all this other bullshit. And then you need to find someone who can actually get the car. And then place to live. Advice for people who are moving to somewhere and you can't get a dorm, like me, I was a transfer student, so I did not get accepted in time to fill out an application for a dorm. There are places that rent out rooms to college students and kind of act like a dorm, but all of you are from a different college.
Interesting.
So when I first moved here in New York,
Brilliant.
I was living at this place called 92Y. Don't recommend.
Oh no.
It was bad. Anyway, my whole floor was filled with a bunch of guys who went to a bunch of different schools, and then there's a floor above us that was girls that went to a bunch of different schools.
That's kind of
cool. And they had like events and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So you guys could look out for those. As well, I looked at some FIT pages, or some Hunter College pages, I mean, it wasn't at FIT yet, of people who are looking for roommates, are moving to somewhere for college and you need to find roommates quick. There are pages that are attached to the school that are places for people to look for roommates.
Also, like, big recommendation, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
They always have Facebook roommates for the city that you're looking into. I actually met my roommate in Denver through Facebook, and then I met Jeff and Lily through Facebook. So I highly recommend.
And then the job thing for me, I was working Panera at the time, and I was transferring over to a different Panera here. You guys can, if you work for a large corporation, transfers happen all the time, both academically and in the workplace. So you look out for a transfer. I did it with Panera, and then I eventually got a serving job. So I switched over to that. As well, I built up hella credit. My first move
By
here,
doing what?
I was putting small shit on it. So I was putting like my groceries on it. I was putting my Metro cards on it. And when I was buying Metro cards, I was buying a monthly one. So those were like $100 or so. So
yeah.
it was like not really like big shit, but it was enough to kind of build it up small so I wasn't getting fucked over with my credit and debt.
Yep. Again, credit.
Money management is another thing I would advise moving to somewhere.
So I'll share a little personal story. I don't like to share this too often, but this is something that I would like to know if I was in any of your positions, moving to a new city or whatever. When I moved to Colorado, I was comfortable in my money. I had about $7,000 saved up. I had a job in Denver. Like, I was good. I was like, oh, I got this. I'll budget. I'll be perfect. I went through that $7,000 in less than 3 months. Just on adult stuff. It's not like I'm out here going on vacation to the Bahamas every weekend or, you know, eating out dinner every night. Like, that was me budgeting money because you don't think about all the little things that you have to pay for, which ties into our kind of expensive talk, but these little things like gas, oil changes, cleaning supplies, you know, laundry detergent, just all of these little things that you're not used to buying because either college supplied them or you didn't need them or whatever. So, you know, start building up your savings now. You know, something that my mom instilled on me and still yells at me every day is money management. You know, have a short-term savings versus long-term. Don't touch the long-term. And I know this is not the most fun topic to be listening to right this second, but this stuff will help you. I'm telling you. I wish I had this. If I had this episode before I moved to Denver or New York City, I would have been 20 steps ahead of anybody else moving at that same time.
Also, weird tip. Learn how to write a check.
Thankfully, I was taught in one of my marketing classes my sophomore year of high school. But the fact that I know people that don't know how to write a check and they're
scary.
25 years old, or like, do you know how to balance a checkbook?
Yeah, I had to do it for accounting.
Okay, yeah. If you're taking accounting, you pretty much know how to. But like, learn how to balance a checkbook. And I mean, checks aren't that big of a thing nowadays. But
they have come up in my life, and I've had to use them. And
guess who uses checks? Landlords. You get lucky. My place in Denver was an online portal, and most places are. But in our current apartment with Jeff and Lily, we have to do a cashier's check.
Yeah, we have to go to the bank and get a check for someone else's account.
I bet some of these people listening don't even know what a cashier's check is.
I bet some of you have never
heard of that. And then
our
moms listening are like, ha ha ha, we lived without the internet. Props to you guys that can do it.
We grew up with cashier's checks.
Yeah, like we had to write everything. We didn't have cell phones growing up. Well, okay. Thank you for that. But just those little things, you know, so really save. I'm telling you, I know that everybody tells you, I know your mom tells you, I know your dad tells you. I'm telling you as a peer to save. Maybe you'll listen then.
Friend.
As a friend, as a...
Because you're going to need it, guys. Like, some shit is going to come up, and you're going to need it. I've had it, and I have been needed it, and guess what? I didn't have it. Who felt the consequences? Me.
Well, in the worst feeling in the world, I was at my lowest point of probably my life when one day I woke up and I literally had $0 in checking, $0 in savings.
I've been there.
And maxed out my credit card.
I've been there.
Yeah. It is the most jolting, terrifying experience.
Such a shock, like a real life shock.
There were moments in Denver where I had to pay with pennies at the gas station because I had to drive to work. But yet work wasn't paying me enough, and it's this whole kind of waterfall full of things, right? But if you know this, and if you're listening now, and especially if you're a junior and senior in college or anything below, start saving, start building up credit. Do it. I'm telling you, you're gonna regret it if you don't do it.
And as well, you can build credit attached to your parents' credit card and attached to their bank in their name.
That's a very smart idea, Jeff. Very smart.
I have a couple friends who are doing it, and I kind of wish that I did it, because you can set limits on the cards if you need to. Your parents can check in on it if you want them to. I don't know if you really do, but some parents might wanna. But it's another just smart route to build credit. And also, if you guys are really scared about building credit, put small stuff on it. When you go to the gas station, put your gas on it, or put that sandwich or whatever on it.
I also have another really big tip about credit cards. I learned this the hard way. Don't bring your credit cards to go out to the bars with you. Because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, shots for everyone. Speaking from personal experience, it's not a great idea. You wake up in the morning and regret it. So don't do it. So if you are scared, don't bring it out with you everywhere. Keep it in a safe place. But put little things on, if you have a monthly subscription like Spotify, put that on it or something like that.
And obviously your credit depends on your income.
Yep. And your credit limit.
You spend how much you make, not how much you make, but you spend an amount based on how much you make. And that's up to you to maintain and decide.
It's a lot of responsibility. Getting a credit card is going to be the next big step into making you feel kind of like this adult. Because you're in charge of this money that you don't have. And you have to figure out how to manage it in a very smart way. And also, don't be scared to, go to PNC or Wells Fargo and just talk to them. Ask them questions if you don't understand, or go to an affiliate of your college bank. Go do that, because they'll answer questions or and things like that. That will make you feel less scared to do something. And I have so much advice because I've been through so much good stuff, so much bad stuff. But something that I want to loop back to the job really quick. And I think this goes hand in hand with Jeff. It's all about connections.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all about who you know, who they know, who they know. When I moved to Denver, I reached out to pretty much everybody on my LinkedIn just to get coffee. I didn't ask for a job. I didn't ask for advice. I didn't ask for anything. I just asked to go grab coffee. I would pay. So tip 2 for graduation if you don't know what you want. Ask for plenty of Starbucks gift cards. You will use them. And I was very shocked in the amount of people that I got responses back from these C-level executives, from these senior marketers that I won't name drop, of course, but are in these CMO positions, CEO positions, and I just connected with them, and now I've connected with them for the rest of my career. And I was surprised that they would meet with me for coffee.
They're probably surprised that someone was asking them to.
That's exactly what they said. Wow. They don't get asked to coffee.
Right.
They're told when they go to coffee, but no, they want to help young people as well. So reach out. What's the worst they're going to do? Not respond?
Yep.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So do that, and that's one of my biggest advices. And we'll have a whole business episode one day when we have one of our guests on. But, you know, make connections. Do what you can.
Another thing that I wrote down is planning for the unplanned.
Which is hard because it's not planned and you don't expect anything.
Shit is going to hit the fan when you least expect it, and you have to plan for that. That could be money problems, that could be work problems, it could be friend problems, it could be relationship problems. You never know, but the big advice that
mine was I bought a couch and it didn't fit in my elevator, so I had to return it and buy a brand new one in Denver. Like, those are things that you don't think about too, you know, is, oh, I have to measure this, I have to do that.
Mine was being gone during quarantine for 3 months and coming home to a huge leak in my bedroom and bathroom all over my apartment. Exactly. And everything I have soaked for months. And
one thing too that I'm just going to touch on are pets. Yes. I think they are great if you do them right. If you understand that, you know, they're only here for part of your life, you're there for their whole life. And that's something that is very important to remember. I highly suggest getting one. I have a cat. He's a little fluff ball.
He's our best friend.
But he's helped me through my lowest times. He was there when I had no money, and, you know, he was fed, of course, you know, he was first on the list, but, you know, you don't know what can happen with them as well.
Right.
So you don't even know what's going to happen with you. Are you prepared to help with them with, you know, let's say, for example, you're just chilling in your living room on a Saturday afternoon. Your dog comes running in and he's sick, or
stung by a bee.
Yep, stung by a bee, and you have to rush to the vet, and they're like, hey, that's $600 that you don't have. One, it's a good thing you have a credit card, correct? Right? Everyone out there, you have the credit card, and you have your short-term savings, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody out there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then you'll be prepared.
Yes, Kay, we do.
Okay, good. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Wow, I really feel like this is not the best episode, the most fun stuff, but it's so...
We're yelling at people.
Yeah. To liven this episode up just a little bit, I think we should do a cheers.
Oh.
I think we should do a big one.
I was waiting.
I think we should do a big one. Everyone just take a deep breath. We've just unpacked a lot of information out on you.
Maybe go grab a snack.
Grab a snack. If you're in a state where it's legal, roll a joint. Take a puff.
For me.
You know,
please.
Pet your cat. You know, take a shot and subscribe to the podcast. Take a shot, tweet at us. Send us a video of you taking a shot. Everyone.
And then take another shot just to take a shot.
Cheers. Let's one more. Let me just one more. There we go.
One more.
It's so pretty. We didn't even say what we were drinking.
You want to know what my favorite sound is?
What?
A cork coming out of a bottle.
Well, what wine are you drinking this evening? We didn't even tell everybody.
What is this? This is a Kendall Jackson Chardonnay.
Is it good?
Yes. Shout out, Mom. Mom,
Susan?
You will love that I'm drinking Kendall Jackson right now. She likes this wine a lot. What are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking the same wine I drank in all 3 episodes last week. The same pink Moscato, $12 bottle, barefoot.
No, that's a Behringer.
Well, that's why it tastes so gross.
It's not barefoot.
Well, barefoot, if you want to sponsor me, I don't charge anything.
Kay's your biggest fan.
And if you want to send me a souvenir chair, I'm down. If any company, the first company to send me a souvenir chair will get a free sponsorship on one of our episodes.
Completely free.
And
I'm talking like a minute.
Yeah.
Minute 30 of
I will Instagram story it, Twitter live tweet it.
That's 2 chairs, by the way, not just one.
Yeah, there's two. I'll record in your chair, everything. If a gaming company wants to send us some chairs, like a really nice chair, that'd be great.
We like sitting.
Love sitting. Anyway, back kind of to the topic. I have a couple more. I think we have a couple more points that we want to kind of touch on. But also tweet us your questions that you've thought about through this this episode.
Yeah, guys, I want to hear more feedback. I want to hear more response.
Yep, I love social engagement, and especially with this episode is I'm sure we'll do more kind of tying into this down the road, because there is so much to talk about. I mean, we could have one episode on just credit cards alone. So if there's something in this episode that you heard us talk about that you want us to dive deeper into,
or any episode,
tweet at us, let us know, tell us the episode, and maybe you'll get a follow back or a tweet back, or maybe we'll send you a video of us answering your question just to you and not on the podcast. You never know. So
exclusive content.
Exactly. So I just have a couple like random points that I want to touch base on really quick. Okay. Just a couple quick facts.
All right, fire them off. I'm ready.
Make a person. make a friend. Sorry guys, that happens a lot. We'll keep that part in just because I'm fine. Make friends with a person that has a truck. The amount of times you're gonna need a truck that you don't think about, he or she's gonna become your, or they will become your best friend.
Lily has a friend with a truck in New York. It's so funny.
You need a friend with a truck. I don't care if it's a fake friend. I don't care if you see them once a month. Make a friend that has a person.
You ain't gonna be a fake friend anymore as soon as you offer them a little bit of cash to move all your shit. Okay.
Exactly. Another big thing. Splurge on an expensive mattress.
Okay. I am a big fan of this point.
Yes. Go ahead.
I like sleeping.
Yep. Me too. Who does that?
I searched for a mattress for a long time. Casper, if you're hearing this, also sponsor us with a mattress.
Oh my god, Casper.
My mattress is from Casper. Guys, Casper's great. Mm-hmm. Their mattresses are fabulous. And they're kind of expensive. But you're going to be sleeping day in and day out.
Buy expensive mattress. Look, you don't need to buy a $500 desk. You could buy a $500 mattress.
Yes, you'd need to buy a $500 mattress.
You could buy a $500 mattress.
Yes, you need to buy a $500 mattress.
Look, my first apartment in Denver, I bought a $99 mattress from Walmart that I didn't realize I needed a box spring. So then I bought a box spring off Facebook Marketplace. Didn't realize that the box spring was a king and not a queen. So I had to sell that and then buy a queen one. And then put it on my $50 bed frame.
So how much was your bed overall?
$150, not even, with the bed frame.
Did it feel like a $150 bed?
Oh, it felt like it. My back's still paying the price for it. It was so uncomfortable. It was so bad. So then this new apartment in New York City, I finally splurged, and I was like, you know what? And also, Casper's definitely one way to go. Another way to go is Amazon. Amazon has these great memory foam mattresses that kind of just like roll up in a box that you can just get delivered, and then you just let it air out. Oh yeah, perfect. Just let it air out. It's the most comfortable mattress I've sat on. Jeff sat on my bed before and like.
Oh, I've laid in it.
Yeah.
I have made my bed in Kay's bed. It is fabulous.
You've laid your bed in my bed?
Yeah, you've never heard that? Like, lay your bed.
No.
Nope. Like a dog goes somewhere, like a dog's gonna lay his bed. Like you're gonna go somewhere and you're gonna like chill and lay and like make it your home.
Huh. Another key thing, you have so much more stuff than you think you do. Even if you live in like a one bedroom, or if you have one bedroom in a house, you don't understand how much stuff you had. I took a full car, a 4-door sedan, and then shipped 2 boxes to Denver. That's all I took. Mm-hmm. I didn't take much because when I was going cross country. But I got rid of like 15 boxes of stuff. Yep. Especially that I accrued during college.
And if you're in a house, it's even worse. Because you have more room.
And that's what I did my senior year of college. I lived in a house by myself. And it was off. I mean, it was the living in the house was fun, but the packing it up.
You hoarder.
You're absolutely.
Such a hoarder.
Absolutely.
Shame on you.
Absolutely. Souvenir cups, hoarding. Chairs, hoarding. Blankets, hoarding. Mugs, hoarding.
Furniture, hoarding.
I'm actually not that bad of a hoarder. I have people in my family who's really bad hoarder. You know who I'm talking about. The last kind of big thing I want to talk about is figuring out your new normal, right? Figuring out this balance of going out and working, and then really trying to shift from college going to class mentality to a complete full-time work mentality, because it's two completely different things. And,
I agree.
You know, you're going to class, you're on a schedule, you're going to work, you're on a schedule, but you're not in college anymore. You can't be getting blackout drunk at Tuesday at 4 p.m.
No.
You can't.
You really can.
Like, you can't. You can go to happy hour with some of your colleagues after work, but, like, that's kind of it. Like, you can't be doing what you used to in college, and I struggled with that, as kind of balancing out, oh, okay, really Monday through Friday is very, like, that's work. Mm-hmm. I get up, go to work, come home, make dinner, go to bed. Like, that's it. But then on the weekends, I can have some fun, but also, like...
You should have some fun.
Absolutely have fun. Go party, go to a bar, go to a football game, you know, when COVID clears up, of course, but have that fun, but you also just need to restructure your weekends, because you can't black out Friday and Saturday night because you're not going to do anything Sunday, when, I hate to tell you, the Sunday scaries are a real thing after college.
The Sunday scaries are very real.
It's terrifying.
We've all experienced them in this apartment.
Almost every weekend. Yeah. Even if we don't do anything. Even like a couple weekends ago where we just watched football all week. You know, you can't really be blacking out on Thursday or Fridays and Saturdays. You're going to get those Sunday scaries. So they're a real thing. But it's okay. We're warning you now so you can prepare.
So... There's a lot more than just the partying side of things.
Yes. And the working.
Right. Like last weekend, I went upstate with my boyfriend Jackson, and we carved pumpkins.
Fun.
And it was just like kind of a nice break to not be drinking and feeling the effects of it. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna sit, have a little apple cider and some whiskey, and carve a pumpkin, and it would be great.
And here's the other thing, too, is exactly, like, find your hobby. Like, find something that you really enjoy doing and doing it. Because, exactly, you're not going to want to go out every Friday and Saturday night. I got really into puzzles when I was in Denver.
What are we obsessing over right now?
Okay. Ladies
What's
and
our
gentlemen,
hobby right now?
Jeff and I are obsessed with Legos.
Guys, it's
an issue.
It kicked when we went to Rochester.
Well, we were at Walmart and we were like, oh, we should get Legos. Ha, ha, ha. And now it's turned into... a very bad obsession.
Hundreds of dollars later.
I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, my adult money is going towards Legos and Crocs.
Oh my God.
Guys, if you don't have Crocs, please go get them. So if Crocs and Legos wants to sponsor us,
I would love that. I'd love nothing more. Crocs? Are you kidding me? I don't want the Crocs. Give me the giblets. I don't want the Crocs. I had the Crocs. Give me the giblets. We went
shopping Sunday. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, we did go shopping Sunday. We went to Kay and I. Well, I have been to the Lego store, but Kay has never been to the Lego store by Rockefeller Center.
Never.
So I took Kay to the Lego store on Sunday, and it was great. It was
so much
fun.
A
beautiful day, and it was like a little Sunday walk to Rockefeller Center.
And I'll say, so I love cars. That's just kind of what I nerd out about. And old cars. Like, I really like old cars. So my dream car is a 1967 electric blue convertible Mustang. Okay? So I was on Amazon one day and I saw that Lego actually makes a 1967 electric Mustang, not a convertible, but the Mustang. And I was like, I have to get it. But because I budget and I know how to spend money, I was like, I'll have to wait till I get paid. So Sunday we went to the Lego store. We went to the car section. And it was all these, like, Technic things. I guess that's, like, their new thing. But it's not, like, Legos. How would you describe the Technics?
It's weird piece. You guys know what a Lego piece looks like with, like, the holes. It's not those. It's more of, like, I don't want to say construction, but it's...
What are those,
I don't know how to explain it. I really
like
don't.
A pipe? Think of, like, a pipe, but in, like... You can hold it between your fingers, like a sink pipe, right?
Yeah.
That in a Lego size, that's what it's like.
It's not Legos. It's like sticks and pipes and weird circle things.
So Lego had all those for their cars, and I was like, you know what? Dang it! Like, I really wanted a car, and like that's what I'm doing is I'm only building Lego cars. Right. So we went over to the sale part of the Lego store, and I saw that they had this one car. I was like, oh my gosh! Like, I saw that on Amazon. That was cool. And then I looked one shelf down, pulled it out. Lo and behold, it was the Mustang.
The Mustang. The one that we were looking for.
Like the one I wanted to get, and
last one on the shelf.
Last one on the shelf. So I like snatched up and ran to check out. I was so excited.
And I have been obsessed with the Star Wars theme of Legos. I'll have to post it on our Instagram.
Yeah, we'll post that on our Instagram story so you can see what we're doing.
Have like a Yoda structure.
Guys, this Yoda is sick.
It is so cool. I bought this like spaceship when I went with Kay to get her car, but I've just been obsessing over the Star Wars Legos.
And then you also have a huge pirate ship, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a really big pirate ship as well.
So anyway,
I'm just a weird gay. I'm a Star Wars gay.
But really, so just find your hobby, find what your niche is, find what you like to do. Broaden your experiences besides just drinking. Go to a sporting venue. Go hiking. Go skiing or snowboarding if that's your thing. Things like that. So. And
then Kay and I went to go get some Crocs.
Oh my gosh!
After the Lego store, we went and got some Crocs and got those like cool little button. They're called giblets.
Which
I
think
cool
is
button things you put in the holes. Such a weird name.
But I love it. Okay.
I would just call them buttons if I was Crocs. Anyway.
But yeah.
I got like an avocado. I got a rainbow. I got a
Lilo
banana.
And Stitch.
Yeah, I got Lilo and Stitch.
Well, Stitch.
I got Yoshi.
Oh yeah, I got a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Is Yoshi a dinosaur?
What is Yoshi? Wait, I need to Google this.
Hold on, guys. I think that I would assume that Yoshi.
I want to say like a lizard. A chameleon. He's either a dinosaur or a dragon.
Huh. Okay, tweet at us if you think he's a dragon or a chameleon. Let us know. I'm gonna say dinosaur.
I'm gonna say dinosaur as well.
Just because he's like riding him,
Anyway,
Anyway,
mine was a great game. That was my childhood. Anyway, I also wanted to dive into some little. We got a couple listener questions. I had a friend DM us and just ask us some questions. We threw up on our Instagram, like, what are some things you have about moving out, or
like what questions you have
about moving away from home.
And by the way, again, that's why you should follow us on our social.
Yeah.
We ask all these questions, and you could be featured on next week's episode.
Yeah, like we put these questions in the episode.
Yeah. So what are the questions?
She said, how do you bring all your shit?
You don't, because you have too much stuff. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you don't bring all your shit. You consolidate and you bring what you need.
And also, like, sell a lot of your stuff. Donate. Donate's a great way. If you're getting rid of clothes, donate your clothes to a homeless shelter or Goodwill, or a good cause too.
I don't remember her name, but she's that very famous Korean cleaning lady. You know who I'm talking about?
Nope, no idea.
Okay. Anyway, guys, you know who I'm talking about? That famous Korean cleaning lady. And she always says, when you pick up an item and you look at it, does it spark joy?
There you go.
And if it doesn't spark joy, you don't want it. It's not yours. Throw it away.
I will recommend doing a huge deep clean before you move. Even if you're moving in the same city and not out of state or whatever, just do a deep clean. Look at everything with a fresh pair of eyes.
Even if it's 20 minutes away.
And have a friend come over too, because they'll smack you across the face if it's not right. Like, if I'm trying to keep something, Jeff knows that I shouldn't keep it. He would let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, bring over a friend.
Okay, it's garbage. Throw it away.
Yeah. Bring over a friend. That would also help.
And she also asked, how do you deal with leaving friends?
I mean, that's a hard one. It's because you kind of
scared me a little bit. I would say you deal with leaving friends by knowing that you're still going to be friends when you leave.
Yep.
Knowing that you're still going to make the time for each other, to visit each other, talk to each other, stay relevant in each other's lives. Like, just have that comfortability level.
Well, and also know that you're not gonna your friendship is gonna change because you're not gonna be with them 24/7. You're not gonna be texting them 24/7 because you're both trying to navigate this adult life, right? So, I mean, my biggest advice is really, you're gonna put in the effort that you're gonna get out of your friends after college. If you're texting them, kind of checking up once in a while, they'll do the same thing for you. But if they're not doing that for you, then maybe it's time to reconsider, even if it's been the best of friends. But it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave your friends and your hometown and what you're comfortable with. But the best advice I can do is just get out there and do it.
I know it was very hard for me to leave my hometown.
As with me.
Yeah,
Just do it.
I can't say anything else besides just do it.
Literally just do it.
If people are not there for you and pushing you to be your best person, be your best self, appreciating your well-being and making you grow as a person, then I don't personally see any reason for them to be in your life.
No. And again, you're in control now.
And
You're the main character in your life. So guess what? You get to cut out who you want, and they don't get to find out why. You don't owe them anything. You can just leave them. Okay? So it's my biggest advice for that one.
And our last question was the feeling of finding your place.
Oh, this is a tough one.
This is a very tough one. You kind of don't know it's going to be your place.
Nope.
That's kind of the fun of it, is figuring it out and finding out what is going to be your place. Maybe, say I moved to New York City and New York City wasn't my place. I'm not looking for that big city vibe and I'm not looking for all those people. Then maybe I would like a more less dense city. Maybe I would like something more in the country. Like, that's the whole point of it. Is
your first place you move might not be where you end up, right? And my biggest thing on this question is, at my place in Denver, I didn't feel like it was mine. I had this weird feeling where, like, I was just visiting for a couple months, or like I was just there, but it wasn't my home. And the moment that switched was when I, silly enough, put up paintings and pictures on my wall in my room, where I started really finding my morning routine, my night routine.
That's so cool.
When it just clicked, like it clicked, and it's going to take you a while. It is. But don't give up. The moment you give up is the moment you lose the battle, and that's not what we're teaching you to do. Is keep fighting. The next day will get better, and make these little things. If you like plants, go get plants. If you think a pet will help, get a pet, but be responsible with it. Put up paintings, put up pictures with your friends and your family.
Make it your space.
Do whatever you want with it, but that's in the terms of your lease, but do what you want with it. That's really going to help you find your place, and just know that it might not be your place, that this place might not be here forever, and that's okay.
Right.
Enjoy the journey, enjoy the trip.
Luckily enough, I found my place.
Yep.
I don't know about UK, but
I don't know. I'm not limiting myself to one place, to be quite honest.
I am lucky enough to know that I can feel confident enough to know that New York City is my place.
And that's awesome.
I thank God for that every day. But that's also, what if it wasn't my place? And I would have to do something about it to either find something new.
Exactly. And I think that that's what this podcast is about, is you might find something, you might not. But what we really hope at the end of the day is that you can listen to us and you can take at least one thing away. I hope everybody in this listening to this episode took just one thing away. Even if it's that Yoshi's a dinosaur or a chameleon. Whatever it is. Just take one thing away.
Even if it's not to black out at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Exactly. And so kind of just wrapping up here, tweet us if there's something that you want us to go more in detail about, or if you have more questions about.
Guys, Kay and I will answer, I promise you.
Yeah.
Either if we answer on our personal or if we answer with the IDK, we will answer you.
Yep. So, make sure you follow us, follow our personal. I think we have just one more cheers, and I think that's kind of a wrap on this week. So everyone, cheers to another successful episode.
Cheers, Kay.
I love that sound. And
we love you guys so much.
And I think next week,
thank you so much for listening.
And I think next week we have something very special planned. So make sure to subscribe on whatever you're listening off. It's Spotify, Apple, Google, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Broader, Radio, whatever. We love you guys.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you so much. We'll see you next week.